Hey, good evening, Hamilton County Schools families. My name is Lenny Matthews, and I am the school choice facilitator for the district. And today I am joining my colleague, Melissa Graham.
Hi, good evening. I am Melissa Graham, the coordinator of community schools for the Midtown Learning Community.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Today we are going to be discussing school choice. So if you are curious about the choice application, the choice lottery, what it all means, hopefully we can answer any questions you have today. We will be providing a bit of an overview for you to begin with, and then as you have questions, feel free to comment on this video and we would be happy to answer them for you. I think the biggest thing to remember for school choice right now is that the deadline to apply is January 31st. That is this Sunday. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, it's almost here.
So I think as a parent, like this is always like a time kind of anxiety. That transition is exciting because your kid may be going to the next level, whether that's middle school or high school. But either way it goes, it's kind of a mixture of some anxiety as well as some excitement for this new transition in their lives. So school choice is so important, and there are some parents kind of agonizing over the decision and what their top 3 is going to be. So thank you, Lindy, for doing this Facebook Live. And give us opportunity to learn more about it. So let's just start out with you sharing what some of the benefits of school choice, of going to a choice school.
Sure, yeah, definitely. We have a lot of different choice options in our school district. We have magnet schools, open enrollment schools, future ready institutes, and early college programs. We can get into each of those programs a little bit later on. But something that's super cool about choice schools is that this is an option in addition to your zone school. So if your child is interested in the arts or STEM and STEAM, or maybe they are going into high school and trying to figure out what their interests are for college and career readiness, all of these specifics can fall inside of our choice schools, and it gives families, parents, and students an opportunity to explore some of their interests within a school setting that they may not be able to get in a traditional school.
Oh, awesome. So that is excellent. That's wonderful. What are some of the key dates? Because let me tell you, just keeping my deadlines in order and making sure I'm not missing anything. I know in prior years we do have parents that just miss the deadline or are calling like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize it crept up on me. So let's share key to know parents.
Yeah, so we have, of course, the application's open now. The deadline to apply is January 31st. So this Sunday, if you are interested in having your application prioritized in the choice lottery, you must apply by January 31st at midnight. So you still have time. You're not too late. You have the opportunity to go ahead and apply. So at midnight, the application will close on Sunday, and then we will be running the lottery on February 8th. So we will take all of the submissions up until the 31st, run the lottery on the 8th, and then families will receive their lottery results on the 15th. And then once you have received your results, if you've been offered a choice seat, you have until February 24th to make your decision about that choice.
Okay. So let's start at the beginning. How as a parent do I apply to a choice school?
Sure. So if you are a current Hamilton County Schools family, like if your child is currently enrolled in a Hamilton County school, you have a parent portal account through PowerSchool. You may be familiar with that because parents were asked to complete the HCS pledge, maybe they updated their registration, or you're checking out how your student's doing in school, you can do all of those things through your parent portal account. So you can go to your parent portal account, and on the left sidebar, you can find the lottery application for 21-22 school year. And that's where you can go to complete the application. What's nice about that is all of your contact information will auto-populate from your parent portal account. And really, you just need to look over that to make sure everything is correct and up to date, and then you can apply for up to 3 choices. If you're not currently a Hamilton County Schools family, you can visit the HCDE website at hcde.org/choose-Hamilton, and you will find a link to apply. Here, you will click the link and create an account, and you'll be able to apply for your students in the lottery.
Okay, so can you share more about the selection process? Do different schools and programs have different process for selection, or is there just one selection process in general for Magnet and Future Ready? Just give us more information about that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, we have 4 different types of choice. We have our magnet schools, which that's been a form of choice schools in Hamilton County for quite some time now. We have our open enrollment schools, which have historically been like a traditional zone school, but now they have additional innovative programming, and they have opened up seats to families outside of their zone. They want to invite more students from the community to enroll in their schools. We have the Future Ready Institutes, which these programs take place at all of our zone high schools, but students outside of the zone can apply for a specific institute beginning in 9th grade. And then we have our early college programs, and those programs are around college and career readiness. Students have the opportunity to earn certification before graduating high school in either a vocational field or trade, or maybe even college credit. So all 4 of those choices are included in the one choice application. The good thing about our choice application is there is no academic requirement for any of our schools to apply. You can apply without inputting any kind of academic requirement on the front end. The only school that does not participate in the initial lottery application process is CCA. So if you're interested in going to CCA, you must submit an application by the 31st, but CCA will contact every person who applies and schedule an audition for them.
Okay, I think you just touched base on this one, but can you repeat again what all schools are in the choice, included in the choice application? Not the name of the schools, but the type of choice.
Yeah, definitely. So we have magnet schools. Magnet schools offer students the option kindergarten through 12th grade. Open enrollment schools, we have open enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade as well. We also have the Future Ready Institutes, and that is offered to all of our rising 9th graders. And those are in all of our zone schools, and then our zone high schools. And then our early college programs, those are more targeted towards 9th through 12th graders. And they have college and career opportunities and certification programs.
Okay. What about transportation? Is that offered for choice schools?
Sure, that's a great question. That is probably the most popular question we receive every year around choice. So transportation is currently offered for our magnet schools through localized drop-off and pickup points. And something that is new for the 2021 school year is that we are offering the same type of transportation option for our Future Ready Institutes. So if your child is interested in a Future Ready Institute outside of their zone school, you have the opportunity to access a centralized location for drop-off and pickup points as well.
Okay, so magnet schools will have centralized bus stops. I think that's one of the questions that we were getting. Okay, that's great. I didn't realize that future ready institutes were being added to that benefit as well. So that's a perfect opportunity for a lot of our high school students.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
here, here is another question. If my son does not get into a choice school for kindergarten this year, can we reapply next year when he is a year older in hopes for a different outcome?
Sure. So we begin enrolling kindergarten students at the age of 5. If a student is 5 on or before, I believe it's August 15th to enroll, you are welcome to enroll in kindergarten. If you choose to hold your child back, I think that's ultimately up to you. I will have to find out some more information on that, but we have had that happen in the past where families have decided to delay a year enrolling in school. And so they have done the application and then they've decided they will not be enrolling in kindergarten. And so they can complete the application again the following year.
Okay.
Mhm.
If I'm a parent and I want to double check what I submitted, so let's say I submitted the application, but I want to go back in and double check it, or I just want to look at it again or go over it, like how can I double check it after it's been submitted?
Sure. After you've submitted your application, you should receive an email confirmation, um, kind of highlighting where you applied, just confirming that you submitted an application. You should receive that. If you have not received that, it may be in a spam folder, but if you have additional questions concerning your application, you are more than welcome to send an email to choosehamilton@hcde.org. And someone on our team will be more than happy to confirm any information. Maybe you need to update something. Maybe you were living at one address when you applied and you'd like to update your address. We can definitely access that, and we can make any changes to your choices if you've changed your mind, as long as it is before January 31st.
Okay, which is only a few days away, about what, 4 or 5 days. Can you repeat that email again? Was it Choose Hamilton?
Yes, choosehamilton@hcde.org.
Okay, so we have a parent asking about the lottery for CSAS. So after kindergarten and first grade, is there no lottery for that? They were interested in their rising third and fourth grader, but they didn't see the option when they were inside the application.
Sure. So in the choice application, we are only accepting applications for CSAS and CSLA for kindergarten and first grade at this time, due to capacity and current enrollment and longstanding wait list status. Those are the only 2 grades that we are supporting in the lottery at this time. And then we will be adding a grade each year based on the availability of seats.
Okay. So fast forward, I'm a parent, I've submitted my application, and now I'm waiting on my results. How will I be notified about the results?
So every choice application required a parent email this year. And so all of the results will be going out on February 15th via email. So make sure that, like, if you haven't seen the confirmation of your application in your email, maybe check your spam and whatnot. Make sure all of that is coming to your inbox okay, so that you can guarantee yourself those results on the 15th.
Okay. What about the early college or the college prep or the early college options for high schools? I think the parent is offering, do those still offer sports for the students?
It depends on what school you're looking at. Most of our high schools do offer sports. Like all of our zone high schools that have uh, the Future Ready Institutes, they do offer some more of those traditional high school experiences. So if you are enrolled in your zone school and then participating in a Future Ready Institute, or if you are choosing one of the early college programs that are connected to your zone high school, you can still participate in a lot of those extracurricular activities. But then some of our other schools that are more specialized, it is a bit different for those extracurricular activities. It may be a less traditional environment, and so sports may not be as easily accessible on site, but they're different. It's kind of like a case-by-case basis for some of our more specialty options.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have a lottery question. So if the lottery, is there a chance that they can get into 2 schools running the lottery, or will they only have the chance of getting into 1 school? And if they are admitted into 2 schools, they have the option to choose which one?
Yeah, that's correct. So every applicant can apply for up to 3 schools, and the way that the lottery runs is every choice you list on your application is ranked as a first choice. So you could, if you're a super lucky person, you could get into all 3 of your choices, and then you just have a tough decision to make. So that can definitely happen. You could be offered a seat at all of your choices, and then you just have to decide which school you're planning to attend.
Okay, sounds good. If I have a kindergarten student who was accepted through the lottery, but then I make the decision to just wait and for another year before they enroll, will my kindergartner spot be held for the next year?
Unfortunately, we do not honor any deferments. So if you are offered a seat in this lottery for this upcoming school year, you will lose your seat if you do not accept it and enroll when the school year begins in August.
Wow, so you really have to seize the moment and take that opportunity if you definitely get into your number 1 seat.
Right.
Okay. If a student enrolls in Polytech Academy or Metrotronics Academy, can you participate in sports at your high school?
Yes, I believe you can. I think that is something I may need to double check on that. But it's my understanding that technically you're still enrolled at your high school. And so if you want to participate in those extracurricular activities, you can. I think scheduling might be something to consider for those programs, but I believe that is the case. If you want to send an email to the choosehamilton@hcde.org email address, I can touch base with both those programs to confirm that.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. I'm going to wait to see if we get more questions coming in, but while we wait, this is Tennessee School Board Appreciation Week. And so I just want to say thank you to our school board members in Hamilton County for your commitment to Hamilton County schools and to the fastest improving school district in Tennessee. So thank you to our school board
Yeah.
members and your dedication and effort and time that you put into student success and schools in Tennessee.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Super thankful for our school board.
Yes. Also, kudos to the parents and teachers. I mean, they have been working together, maybe even deeply more involved in student work than they have been in prior years. So kudos to everybody holding it together and everybody on the same team towards student success. I love it. I know these times have not been easy, but kudos to the parents and the teachers as well.
Right.
The new question. Do you have to apply for Future Ready every year once you are admitted into your Future Ready Institute?
That's a great question. And that is something that also, that's a good question that applies to our magnet and open enrollment schools as well. So once you are enrolled in a magnet school, open enrollment, or Future Ready Institute, you only have to apply one time. You do not have to apply year after year. Once you are kind of locked into that space, you are good to go and do not have to reapply year to year.
Awesome. Lindy, we have a request for you to go back over the key dates really quick. They just got in and they just want to hear those key reminders of the deadline and also the deadline to solidify their option once they have their options presented to them.
Yeah, of course. Super important. So The number one key date right now to remember is that the deadline to apply for any of our choice programs or schools is January 31st, this coming Sunday at midnight. Applications are closing. So please get your application in before that time. And then we will be running the lottery on February 8th. And families will receive notifications from the lottery with their results on February 15th. They will receive those via email, and then families have until February 24th to accept or decline the seats offered to them.
Awesome. Will the lottery be televised, Lindy?
So the way that we actually do the lottery nowadays, Power School actually runs it for us. So it is completely digital. There isn't really anything to show because every application that is submitted goes through Power School. They do the randomized lottery, and then I am given the results once it takes place. So we are not planning on televising that just because there's really not much to see.
Okay. So if a parent homeschooled this year, when they go into their child's information, it is auto-generated because they're still in Power School from the previous year. Do they need to register as a new student, or are they coming currently going through, the information that they have going to next fall?
So if a student was unenrolled to be a part of the homeschooling umbrella for the area, and this is not including families who chose virtual school or HCS at home. I know we have a lot of different options this year, so sometimes it's tough to clarify, but if you left the school district in order to homeschool this year, technically you are not enrolled with Hamilton County Schools at this time. So you will need to complete a registration later this year before returning to Hamilton County Schools. But just for the purposes of the lottery, you just need to submit your lottery application. So if you have previously had a parent portal access, that's great. But since your child isn't currently enrolled, you will just need to go to the district website, go to hcde.org/choose Hamilton and select the link there. That link is actually to the Power School enrollment part of their website, and it's similar to registration. It looks very similar, but you just have to access that point, and then there should be an option to complete a choice application.
Okay. So let's talk about Future Ready Institutes for a minute. Are those just open to freshman students, or can sophomores and juniors also apply to a Future Ready Institute?
Sure. So the choice lottery application is only for ninth graders who are interested in Future Ready Institutes. Okay. Future Ready Institutes, it is a cohort style model that begins in ninth grade, and that cohort continues through 12th grade. So if you are currently enrolled in an older grade and you're interested in Future Ready Institutes, you can reach out to your school, or if you're currently enrolled in a Future Ready Institute as maybe this year you're a ninth grader or a 10th grader, and you are interested in changing schools to attend a different Future Ready Institute, there may be special preference there. You can reach out to the Future Ready department, but typically the Future Ready Institutes are that cohort model that begin in ninth grade, and you complete the same cohort through your 12th grade year.
Okay. If my child attended Normal Park for kindergarten through 8th grade, does that mean that he or she is automatically admitted to another magnet school for the high school?
So once you leave any of our magnet schools, because the school doesn't have a next grade, whether that is 5th to 6th grade or 8th to 9th grade. You must reapply through the lottery for your next tier option. There is not a direct pathway at Normal Park to a magnet school. If you attend Normal Park as a magnet student, you do have the opportunity to be given a seat at Red Bank High School. So that is something to consider. They have 2 Future Ready Institutes. One is the Blue Cross Technology Academy, and the other is brand new for this upcoming school year. It is the Institute of Social Media, Marketing, and Sports Management.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sounds really exciting.
So if I have siblings and one child selects one school, let's say school A, what is the process for my sibling, my child's sibling, to automatically get in there from that point?
Like a younger sibling. So like if you have a student enrolled at a magnet school or an open enrollment school,
Mhm.
and then you have another, like that student has a sibling who is interested in the same magnet school or open enrollment school, you will be given sibling preference in the lottery if your student has completed a full year at that school. So if you are currently enrolled, the applying sibling will get preference in the lottery. Does that answer your question?
Okay, yes, they were referring to a younger.
Okay, great.
Younger child.
Great.
Are there and I know this may be true for some schools and maybe not all, but maybe you can clarify, is there a certain number of slots open per grade, per school?
So really, it just kind of depends on the capacity of the school. So our magnet schools, or some of our magnet schools, do not have a school zone. So they take in, like for kindergarten, they take in the number of students that they can take in to fill the capacity of the number of kindergarten classrooms they have, right? But then for schools that have a zone and then are also taking students from the lottery, it really kind of depends on how many students are coming in. So if they know how many students they have this year in kindergarten, that class would roll up to 1st grade. And then given the capacity that's left over, they can fill those seats through the lottery. So it varies from school to school.
Understandable. We have a question about the out-of-pocket expenses, and I'm not sure if we can answer this one immediately, but are there any out-of-pocket expenses for the college and career programs, Polytech, things like that?
Sure. So Polytech and Metrotronics, to my knowledge, there is no out-of-pocket expenses. I, of course, can double check on that, but to my knowledge, there is not any additional costs for those programs.
Okay, so what about backups? Let's say 50 students get into a school with a lottery and only 40 of them accept their slot. What do we do for the next 10? Are we going to the next 10 on some type of reserve list, or is it just cuts off at 40 that accepted their slot?
Sure. So families, like I mentioned before, families have about 2 weeks to make the decisions based on their lottery results. So of course, there will be a few families out there that are quite lucky and they get into all of the places they applied. And so that means they're going to have to decline 2 of their 3 spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when that takes place, all of the folks who were not offered a seat will fall onto a wait list for their grade at the school they applied to. So as families decline seats, or maybe they don't respond and they are removed, family or applicants on the wait list will be offered seats that are available. So just because you're waitlisted doesn't mean it's out of the question necessarily. Our Wait lists do not expire until school begins in August. Now, we do not hold wait lists past August, but we do hold on to those lists until August for families, because you never know what may happen. Sometimes jobs change or people move during the summer or whatnot. And so we want to be cognizant of that and offer families who are on the wait list a spot if something opens up.
That's awesome. What's the saying? Keep hope alive. If you don't
Yeah.
get in, you can keep hope alive until August if you really have your eggs in one basket. So we have somebody jumping in and missed the transportation piece. We're going to revisit this one more time. Are parents mainly responsible for transportation, or how would transportation work for our school choice options?
Sure. So all of our magnet schools and the majority of our future ready institutes have localized drop-off and pickup points for students who are attending those schools and programs out of zone. So there is a bus schedule or a transportation schedule available on the hcde.org website. And so you can take a look at what the nearest drop-off and pickup point is to your address.
Okay. And yes, you will be. We have someone asking if they will be notified. And when you get your results, Lindy, is there a notification that you've been on the wait list or not? Does it specifically say that?
Sure, yeah. So when you receive your results, if you applied for all 3 choices or however many choices you applied to, up to 3, you can see if you have been seated at the school that you applied to, or if you're on the wait list. You will see your wait list spot on that email, and that link that comes in your email is an active link. So as the wait list fluctuates based on families above you being offered a seat, you will see that number change.
Okay. And this one is just if we don't get accepted for kindergarten, what do we do next? As a parent myself, you look into your other options for school. If it is time for your child to go to kindergarten, you can always look into zone school or your other options. Hamilton County offers excellence in all areas. School choice, of course, is the one that is magnified, but if it's time for that baby to go to kindergarten, it's time for them to go to kindergarten. Am I correct, Lindy?
That's right. That's right. And I do encourage families to look at their zone school and visit their zone school, because there's a lot of great schools out there in Hamilton County, and sometimes that school is your neighborhood school and you may not know as much about it, but it is a wonderful opportunity to explore and see if that could be a really good fit for you and your family as well.
And I think this is outdated and we no longer offer this, but a parent is asking if children, do children get priority if their parents are employed and working downtown? I don't think we offer that anymore as a county, but you can confirm that.
Yeah, you're correct. We no longer have that written into our magnet procedures for the district.
Wait after it's admitted.
Yes, so if you would like to make a change to your application, you can email choosehamilton@hcde.org and we can update your application, no problem.
But that's only until the 31st at midnight, correct?
Correct, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Do we have any more questions?
Okay, if you guys do have more questions, or maybe you're watching this later on after we have wrapped up this video, feel free to comment on this post and we will get back to you. You can also send your questions to choosehamilton@hcde.org and we will get back to you and find out any answers that you may need. But thank you so much for joining us. Melissa, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for asking all of these great questions.
Thank you. Thank you.